Hey there, Fernanda. Andrew here once again. Everything is fine and dandy working again. So let's get cracking. So with this question, we're being asked which one we agree with. Should humans adapt to technology, or should technology, really this should say be adapted, because technology itself can't adapt, so we are the ones who adapt it. So I would change that, but that's an error in the question. That's not your fault. But you talk about the question as if it is a discuss both sides and give your opinion, when actually it's just a direct question. It's a two-part question. So we should use the first body paragraph to discuss this bit, and the second body paragraph to discuss this bit. So here, that's better. But also, we need to include this part of the question. Yeah, we need to make sure we respond to both parts of the question in a two-part question. I can't really weave this into this, but that core question is technology making us weaker or stronger intellectually. Not only should it be included here, but it should be discussed in one of the body paragraphs. So many people feel strongly that with the development of technology, mainly in the last few decades, digital information, I think this is too much for a topic sentence. And we could just replace this with like that. But what do you mean by digital information? So this is not really a fully developed paragraph, because you've talked about the opinion of other people. Some people feel that, whereas what we should be doing is keeping it. You can use professional opinion as your example, but just to have someone else's opinion as your topic sentence, it makes the paragraph difficult to discuss fully. So if we do, with the development of technology over the last few decades, I don't understand how we could adapt digital information to our environment. I suppose we could have I don't know. No, I'm still unsure about that. See, what you're doing in this paragraph is telling us what someone's opinion is, and then telling us that you think they're wrong. But in an academic paragraph, what we should do is give our belief with the topic sentence. This is this. And then we support that. We make it credible. We say, I believe this. Here's the specifics. Here's the supporting example. Here's the explanation. So what you're belief actually is although technology sometimes influences people and increases convenience, we contribute to two things. Contribute to our development each day. Let's say intellectual development. And what was the other thing you said? So now what I would expect is some support of this. How does this happen? Give me an example. Explain it fully. So this is your topic sentence that I've extracted. In order to finish this paragraph now, we need a few more sentences. So we need a more specific explanation of how this is happening. Then we need an example to support it, and then an explanation as to how it answers the question. I'm not going to write that fully here for you now, but this paragraph was a little confused. Here, we should just have that. Once again, it's difficult for me to correct this essay because you're just discussing the opinions of others. What we should have done is taken one paragraph to discuss whether we should or should not adapt to technology, and another paragraph to talk about whether it's making us intellectually weaker or stronger. So what we could have said is, in the first paragraph, for instance, we could have spoken about the fact that technology already has, that humans already adapt to technology. Every day we learn how to use new devices, and the learning experience itself makes us intellectually stronger. We could have spoken about the range of devices that we've learned to use that have made our lives easier. Things like calculators have made doing mathematics easier. But then there's also the other argument there, that dependency on technology is a bad thing and makes us intellectually weaker. Because although calculators make us able to perform mathematical calculations more quickly, we don't do them in our mind, we do them on hardware. So what we need to... This is the sort of crux of the discussion we're having. Should we rely on technology to solve our problems for us and make things more convenient? Or should we do it ourselves? So discussing the opinions of others is not quite correct. So this is not a discuss both views and give your opinion. This is just directly answer the question. We don't need that. I'm not sure how it's mainly the millennials. And also you'd need to explain that. So let's have a look. Let's try and write you a new paragraph for this one. But actually, what I'll do. So I've written you some new paragraphs that fit with your original essay. So you can have a read of those. Anything you don't understand, I would recommend Googling. One thing I'll explain, this word lest. It essentially means to avoid the risk of. So it is important for people to maintain some level of personal competence lest they become incapable of solving simple problems. So instead of saying both views, we can say neither view is entirely right or wrong. We don't need this bit. And both have their merits. Nevertheless, as a result of my life experience, I strongly believe that people should adapt to the new age of technology. Since things are changing quickly. See, here we're using things too much. Things and stuff, ambiguous language. We need to be specific and precise. But overall, I think the main thing here was just not grasping the direct nature of the question. But let's scroll down and have a look at your next piece. So here, it's the structure of an academic task 1. First of all, we have to define the graph. So that should be the first sentence. The definition of the graph. Let's not talk about what it would seem to suggest. Let's talk about what it suggests. So the first sentence after your definition should be a generally speaking or overall statement. And actually, it's not the most important country. It's the highest number of visitors. Other data suggests that the highest number of visitors will come from the USA. We don't need that because it's fairly obvious. Let's just do that. So we've got a little bit of a longer sentence. Oh, okay, so as well, one can interpret the graph in several ways. That's not true. Like, the graph really displays, the thing it displays is the thing it displays. It cannot be, you can't interpret it any differently. So firstly, the graph shows that expected city visits by people from Mexico to Istanbul and London have the same frequency. We need to make sure that you're writing a little more formally. Saying things like just a little higher. It's quite informal. It sounds like speech rather than formal writing. I don't understand. Are you talking about from Mexico? Okay. can't say it rises sharply, because that, to rise sharply would be a discussion of a change over time. But this is a spot measurement. This is in 1 year. So it does not change over time. So nothing rises, nothing falls. We actually don't need these. I would say Canada has a high number of expected visitors to Istanbul, while London and Paris are practically the same. They mean the same thing, so we don't need both of them. For people from the USA, Paris is projected to be the city most visited. But we've already said for people from the USA, so we don't need that bit. While London is in the 2nd position and Madrid in the 3rd, just 10 points behind London. I'll allow that, that's fine. In conclusion, Paris, London and Madrid. I can't quite grasp this, one sec. Okay. The majority of visits to Paris, London and Madrid are expected to be made by people from the USA while Istanbul will be toured mostly by Canadians This one we just don't need. So we still have enough words there, even though I deleted quite a lot. But with the coherence and formality of your writing is really important to work on with these. Now this video is getting quite long, so I'll send this over to you now. I'll look forward to your next pieces. Let's focus on making sure that we write in a formal manner with academic language. And also, I believe the next question is also a two-part question. So just separate the question out into both parts. Make sure you answer all of it in your intro and your conclusion, but respond to one part in one paragraph and the other part in the other. And with this one, stick to flat, objective descriptions of the graph with formal language. Okay, Fernanda, have a great day. Speak soon.